Okay, we're going to look more at some NBA win totals this season. We're going to look at the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards. Check SBR, a lot of good sports books out there with some good odds on these teams, and see if you can, get the better odds on the better win totals here, because it's very interesting how these always work out. And as the season progresses, as the preseason progresses, numbers tend to change a little bit. So you might want to really check out to see, where you can find the best value. Right now, we're going to look at Utah. Odds makers have them at 47.5. I'm going to back over the total on Utah, well above their totals of last year. But let's break this team down and see why I like to go over with them. Last season, the Jazz won 40 games, but they do return their main core of players. Hayward, Favors, Exum should really start to come into his own. Dante Exum, we kind of forgot about him, but he could be a really good point guard for them going forward. George Hill is a nice little pickup for them. I like Gobert in the middle. Here's the guts of it. Quinn Snyder, he's going to play great defense. They ranked second in points allowed in the NBA last season, just after the Spurs, but they also ranked 26th or 27th around there in points scored per game. They're going to control tempo. They're going to make things difficult on you defensively, and that can wear on teams. It can really grind on teams. It's a kind of a copy of that Memphis Grizzlies type of grind it out, and it can work to some success if you have the right personnel. I think the Jazz have the right personnel to do that, and they're going to impose their will on some teams in order to go ahead and get over that 47.5. I think they make the playoffs and make things difficult on some of the better teams in the league. So look for Utah to be with one of the sleeper teams this season and back them on the over 47.5. The Washington Wizards, of course, they got John Wall and Bradley Beal. Let's take a look at them. Odds makers have them at 42.5. Last year, the Wizards won 41 games, but again, Bradley Beal was out for a considerable amount of time, and that really affected them. But you look at them as a core, the whole, they're really not deep. Their bench is pretty poor, in my opinion, and they really don't have a lot around John Wall and Bradley Beal. Don't get me wrong, those two guys together can really make a team. I mean, they're one of the best backcourts when they're healthy in the NBA, no doubt about it. However, I just don't like the depth of this team, and until we see Beal be consistent for a full season, it's hard to really go over anything or expect more out of them. We were kind of hoping that for Washington Wizards fans were hoping they'd pick up Durant. That didn't happen. So I'm going to go under the total with Washington of that 42.5. I don't look for them to improve much from last year, and those are going to be our two plays on these two teams. Utah over that total 47.5. Odds makers stretching it, but I think it's for a good reason. And Washington under the 42.5. So it's going to be a great year, and I wish you luck on your picks today.